Two breaking stories out of Las Vegas have completely shifted the vibe around the Raiders, and fans are already split. On one side, an unexpected name turned heads with a performance no one saw coming. On the other, a serious warning from inside the team about an issue that could explode as soon as this next game, and it's happening against the team that's given the Raiders the most trouble lately. Something big is brewing, and how this team responds could change everything. But first, let's talk about what just happened on the field that's got everyone talking. The Las Vegas Raiders kicked off the season with a big-time win in Week 1, but there's no time to soak in the glory because Week 2 brings a serious challenge. A showdown with the division rival Los Angeles Chargers, the same squad that swept them last year. And to make things even more intense, those Chargers are coming in hot after taking down Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, the Raiders are 1-0, and the vibe is good. But if they want to really make a statement and hit 2-0 for the first time since 2021, they've got to figure out how to deal with the Justin Herbert problem. And that problem is very real. Herbert came out in Week 1 looking like he's already in mid-season form, threw for over 300 yards, lit up the stat sheet with a QB rating pushing 132, and reminded everyone why he's considered one of the league's most dangerous playmakers. Raiders head coach Pete Carroll knows it too. On Thursday, he gave Herbert some serious props, calling out just how lethal the dude can be when the pocket collapses or when he breaks off into those RPOs and scrambles. Carroll described one late-game play where Herbert turned a 3rd and 13 into a 20-yard gain, just casually icing the game like it was nothing. According to Carroll, it was supposed to be a drop-back pass, but Herbert saw daylight and just took off. That kind of off-script magic? That's what makes Herbert such a nightmare to defend. Carroll broke it down perfectly. You can cover everyone up, get the rush right, and still get burned because Herbert turns broken plays into highlight reels. Whether he's firing missiles on the run or just straight up taking off with his legs, he brings that X factor that's almost impossible to contain. That's why the Chargers are always dangerous, and why the Raiders have to bring their absolute best. This matchup usually delivers fireworks, and with both teams looking to prove something early in the season, expect another battle. The Raiders showed flashes of real growth in Week 1, but this next game? This is the measuring stick. This is where we find out if this team's just better, or actually ready to be a serious problem in the AFC West. They went on the road and handled business last week. Now, back home and facing a legit contender, the Raiders have a golden opportunity to build momentum, flip the script from last year, and send a loud message to the rest of the league. Week 2 is going to be a test, and if they pass it, we might be looking at a whole new Raiders squad in 2025. But the biggest story is still ahead, and it involves an old problem that's come back to haunt Vegas at the worst possible time. The Raiders might have just found their swagger, and it's riding on the back of Geno Smith. Week 1 was a tone setter in Vegas. Geno came out dealing, torching the Patriots for 362 yards and a touchdown in a 2013 win that had more juice than the score shows. New England came in locked on stopping Ashton Jeanty in the run game, so Geno said, "Cool, I'll just cook through the air." And he did exactly that. This wasn't some check-down-heavy game manager stuff either. Geno looked like a man on a mission, calm in the pocket, sharp with his decisions, and straight-up confident slinging the rock. That's music to the ears of head coach Pete Carroll and offensive wizard Chip Kelly, who are counting on the veteran QB to be the engine of this offense in 2025. So far, mission accomplished. NFL analyst Ledger Douzable summed it up perfectly after the game on CBS. People are going to hate to see the Raiders on the schedule, and it's because of Geno Smith. He even dropped a stat nugget, 362 passing yards, is the most ever for a QB in their Raiders debut. That's not just a good start, that's record-breaking. And it's not just Geno doing damage. Brock Bowers, despite taking a hit, still racked up over 100 yards and looked like the kind of matchup nightmare that keeps defensive coordinators awake at night. Jacoby Myers balled out too, clearly playing like a guy who's got something to prove. And then there's Dante Thornton, who brought that vertical threat to life with a few deep shots that showed just how explosive this offense can be. The wild part? We haven't even seen the full Ashton Jeanty experience yet. He still delivered a bruising run at the goal line, the kind of physicality he's known for. But once he gets rolling, this offense could become a serious problem for anyone who lines up against them. Douzable's not ready to hand them a playoff ticket just yet, but he made one thing crystal clear. The Raiders are going to be a problem. Week in and week out, they're going to bring the fight. And for the first time in a while, it feels like the silver and black have a legit identity forming. As for Geno, he knows it's not just about one good game. After struggling in his final year with the Seahawks, he's focused on more than just stats. He's trying to establish a real winning culture in Vegas. And judging by that Week 1 performance, he might be the right guy to lead the charge. Next up, a huge test against the Chargers in Week 2. But if this version of Geno sticks around, the Raiders could be cooking something special in the desert. The Raiders look like they're turning a corner, but one major issue still needs fixing. Fast. If you're into real talk about this team, hit that subscribe button and stay locked in. There's more drama coming.